Step out, sideways on, holding that position. When I transfer my weight forwards, palm in to contact, palm away. Rotate, bring the hand in, go through all the progressions we worked on today. Okay, underneath it, load the back hip, go. Load in the hip, drive the hip, rotate the shoulders. I'm back on court for another tutorial. And in today's session, I'm going to go through some step-by-step progressions on the smash. Now I want to start off by saying that there are some similarities between the smash and the serve in terms of the service action, with the main differences being that you need to have really good movement around the court area prior to making contact with the ball. You also need to have a preparation that goes into an abbreviated action like this so that you have time to track the ball when playing your smash. And it's really important to have a really solid foundation on the ground when you go to your follow-through action at the end of the shot. Now at the beginning of the session here, we're going to first of all look at getting into correct grip for the smash, which is the chopper grip. Now the chopper grip is a grip that is a fixed position where you get the V part of your hand here and place it on your handle, and it's a fixed position every time you play the smash. Now it does seem like I've been talking about the chopper grip a lot in my tutorials over the last sort of 4 or 5 tutorials that I've done, but the chopper grip does play a huge part in a lot of the shots in the game, which is why I keep talking about it and talking about how to get into the grip. But that's the chopper grip and we're ready to go. So to begin with, we're going to talk about where the contact point needs to be for the smash. Now the contact point needs to be with your arm fully extended and your racket up as high as you can reach, with your left hand in here like this, with your shoulders pointing towards the net. Now the contact point has to be in front so that the strings are pointing down into the court area rather than being open like this. So we're going to have a look at some progressions now where I'm just going to be blocking the ball at my contact point position when it comes over like this, like that. So I'm in my chopper grip, I'm ready to go. I'm going to be extending my arm up as high as I can reach. My racket's going to be up nice and high. My left hand's going to be in here and I'm going to be open to the net. My racket contact point is going to be here. The strings are going to be pointing down into the court. Now the reason why I'm going to be open to the net like that is because a little bit later on when I go through some progressions on the smash, you'll notice that I start in a neutral stance sideways on here and I will start to rotate my hip and shoulders. My left hand will come down and I'll extend my arm up and make contact here. So this is why we're starting in this open position like this, with the racket facing down in the court, with my left hand into my chest just there. So we're going to practice some now, and I'm just going to be blocking the ball as it comes over the net like this. I might need to move around a little bit just to be able to catch the ball on the strings. I'm not going to do anything else, I'm not going to be swinging through or anything like that. So let's get started. I'm going to see what this is like. So I'm in my chopper grip, my arms extended, my left hand's into my chest and I'm in an open stance. The ball's coming over and I'm just going to catch the ball on the strings like this. Trying to get into that contact point that is there. My contact point's out to the side, it's in front, it's coming and I'm just catching and pointing the strings down into the court. I'm in my chopper grip, I'm just making contact with the ball. Very, very simple action. And stop there. We'll just stop there. Okay. So that's just the contact point. It needs to be fully extended to the right hand side here, strings pointing down, hand into the chest. The reason why it needs to be out to the side here is because you need to get sideways onto the ball later. So if I'm playing towards you there, I'm going to be sideways onto the ball and my contact point's going to be out here like it would be on the serve as well. So this time what we're going to do, we're going to look at actually still being in an open stance, but this time the arm's still going to be extended, but the palm of my hand, when it is in my chopper grip, is going to be pointing in towards my face here. So my palm is going to be in like this, okay, to start with, and then I'm going to turn my wrist out to contact point like this, and that is called pronation, where my palm starts into my face and then my palm goes away. So if I didn't have my racket in the hand, it'll be palm in to palm out to contact, and my arms are going to be extended as I go through it. So the butt of the racket is going to be going towards that way on the court, and then I'm just going to turn my wrist out to contact, and that's where I'm going to get the pronation, which is going to help me sort of accelerate through the ball like this when I go through the smash. So let's get started with some fully extended pronation. So here we go. So my left hand is still into my chest. I'm still going to be taking the ball out the air, and this time I'm just going to be turning my wrist to contact point when the ball comes over, and that's all I'm going to be doing. So it's coming up, I'm turning the wrist, my arm is fully extended, I'm trying to make contact with that ball as high up as I can, with the ball coming over like this. Wah! Fully extended, palm in to palm out like this. Always good to have that ball just coming in by the net here, so I'm not having to move too much to be able to play this shot. So the palm is in, and then the palm goes out to contact, strings pointing down into the court area like this. So palm in to contact. Let's stop there. Okay. So now on to the next part. So I'm still in my chopper grip. I'm going to be fully extended here. My hand's going to be into my chest. I'm into my palm is going to still be in, but this time I'm going to go palm in, and then I'm going to pronate or turn my wrist out to contact. So the string bed is at the ball now. And this time I'm going to turn my wrist even further so that my palm goes away from my face. So this is the full pronation, where you have your your hand with your palm in, okay, towards your face. Then your palm goes to contact point, and then your palm goes away. So you go from palm in to contact to palm away. And on the racket, it looks like this. Palm in to contact, palm away. Still fully extended on the hand and the arm. So let's practice some. Arm fully extended, left hand into chest, open stance. Palm in, contact, palm away. So the pronation is there. Now, of course, at the moment, I'm doing a few side steps, which is what you wouldn't do on the smash normally, but I'm just trying to track that ball to get my consistent contact point. So arm is fully extended, palm in to contact to palm away. And then once you've practiced that, try to make it a bit more fluid so that it's not so sort of mechanical. There. Palm in, contact, palm away. And you're really trying to make contact right up the top there and in front. So now we're going to start in a neutral stance. So we're going to be sideways onto the net. We're going to be in a trophy position. Now a trophy position is where you stand sideways on, you keep your left arm up here for a right-handed player, and your right elbow for a right-handed player in line with your shoulder here, with the tip of the racket pointing up, with the string pointing away from your face like this. And this is a trophy position. This is a set position you need after you've gone from your ready position into your preparation part, which we're going to look at a little bit later on. But for now, we're going to start in this position. We're going to keep our left arm up here. Now, if I'm playing towards the camera here, my left arm is going to be this side of my body. So it's not going to be here, because this is not where I make contact above my head. I make contact out to the right-hand side here for a right-handed player. So I need to track the ball and be sideways onto the ball with my left arm across my body, just like that. So let's practice some. I'm just going to keep the right hip back, and I'm going to catch that ball out to the side. So I'm going to track the ball, okay? I'm just going to keep my right hip back. We're going to do this for just a couple of goes. Right hip back, on balance, not doing anything else, okay? And now what we're going to do, I'm going to catch the ball, okay? And then I'm going to then swing. Okay, so the ball comes in, I'm on balance, I catch the ball, and then I just swing. Catch the ball, bring the ball into you, and swing. when you go through your smashing action from your trophy position here, you actually start to rotate the back hip and rotate your shoulders out to that open position at the net as you go into your extension and pronation through the ball. So we're going to catch the ball, we're going to bring the ball down into our chest, we're going to rotate the hip and go through our smashing action. Let's get started. So I'm set, the ball's coming in, I'm there, I'm going to rotate my hip and then just put the ball down. We go again, catch, balance, rotate my hips and shoulders out to the open to the court like this. So I'm catching that ball after it bounces, I'm catching it out to the side, I'm rotating the hip and the shoulders. We'll try one more. Catch, pull it down, rotate the hips and shoulders. So let's look at the next progression. So the next progression is, from our trophy position here, we need to be able to load the hip. We need to be able to lean down on the back leg here, let's say 60% of your weight on this leg and 40 on the front, just so that we can push off the ground a little bit to be able to drive the hip and rotate the hip to generate some power from the ground by pushing up, you rotate the hip, and then you go. So I'm going to catch the ball, I'm going to lean down, load the back hip, I'm going to bring that hand in, I'm going to push up, rotate the hip. Catch the ball, load the back hip, I'm going to push up, I'm going to bring this left hand down, I'm going to drive the hip. Let's slow the interval down just a little bit. So trophy position, catching that ball out to the side. Here, load the hip, push and rotate. Go again. Load the hip, push off the ground, bring the hand down, rotate. Load the hip, push off the ground, bring that hand in, rotate. Deep one. Load the hip, push off the ground, bring that hand in, and rotate. We'll try one more. Tracking that ball, keeping it out there, load the hip, drive the hip, and go. Let's stop there. Okay. So far, we've been in a neutral stance, we're on balance, we're just keeping the right hip back here, we're catching the ball. Then we've moved into catching the ball and rotating the hip, bringing the hand down and swinging through. Then we've looked at catching the ball, loading the back hip, pushing off the ground, well, just loading the back hip and pushing off the ground to then rotate and go to the ball. And now what we're going to look at is after we load up and we push off the ground and we drive the hip in here, we're now going to bring our left hand down, extend our arm up, and as we go to an imaginary contact point, we're going to lean our weight on our front foot there as we follow through. And we're going to keep our toe up like this for some sort of balance at the back. So you're going to catch, you're going to load the hip, okay, you're going to push off the ground. The push off the ground is going to initiate the racket head going in here. You're going to pull the left arm down, you're going to push up, accelerate and transfer the weight on the front foot and hold that position. Let's get started. Now we're going to see what the interval's like here, because I maybe want to slow that down just a little bit give myself a bit more time. So in my trophy position, it's coming in, I'm going, I'm catching, I'm loading the hip, I'm going to drive and transfer the weight on my front foot there. That interval is much better. It's given me plenty more time to be able to go through the progressions. Okay. Now, this ball that's coming over is high enough for me to be able to let the ball bounce and go up and get underneath the ball like that, which isn't always the case on the smash, but this is a really good way of practicing and developing through progressions for the smash, because it gives you the time to be able to get to the ball and stop there. So there we are. We've looked at the balance position. We've looked at rotating the hips to come open, to go to extend and through. We've looked at loading the back hip to push off the ground, to rotate the hip, to initiate the racket head, to bring this hand in and go. And then finally, we've looked to go to transferring our weight forwards after we go through the contact point there, or as we make contact, we need to be transferring the weight through there so that we can stay on balance for the shot. So I'm going to collect some balls in and we're going to move on to the next stage. So now it's time to have a look at the recovery after the smashing action. So you're in your trophy position, you're loading the back hip here, you're pushing off the ground, you're rotating the hip, driving the hip, okay? The left arm's gonna come in, you're gonna accelerate, and you're in this balanced position here. Now after the smashing action, you need to bring that back foot through for balance and ready position. So we're gonna practice it. In my trophy position here, ball's gonna come in, still gonna be catching off the bounce. Let's see what's gonna happen here. There, load the hip, through, into ready position. Next ball, there's coming in. Okay, underneath it, load the back hip, go, back to ready. There again. Really helps when you slow the feed down actually. You get under that ball, go back into that ready position. Tracking the balls coming in, up it goes. Okay, back to ready. Here we go again. Coming up, catch, load the hip, drive, go into that ready position. You need to hold that balanced position when you're smashing. That's really important for a moment, and then bring it round. Tracking the balls, coming up, there, get underneath it, load the hip, go, and stop. What? Okay. So now we've gone into our ready position after we've gone through our smashing action, and we're coming back into here. We're now going to look at the preparation from the beginning, before the smash, from our ready position. So we're going to start in a ready position, open to the net like this, in our chopper grip, and we're going to have our left hand on the throat of the racket here, ready to go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out with my right foot. That turns my hips and gets me sideways onto the ball. And then I'm going to bring my left foot across into a neutral stance. And I need to make sure that I go into an abbreviated action. So even if you're a player that has a full service action, you don't have time on the smash to be able to come all the way down through here and go into here. So from your ready position, the racket head needs to come straight back into this smashing position here, into the trophy position, ready to go. Now this is particularly important when you don't have time, because maybe the ball isn't massively high in the air and it can't bounce. You need to be able to manage time, so going to an abbreviated short action and bringing it back into here is really going to help you prepare and have the time that you need to go through the smashing action. So we're going to start in my ready position. I've slowed the feed down, so I'm going to step out, okay, turn sideways on, go into my trophy position. I'm sideways on now, I'm tracking the ball, coming there, playing it, back into my ready position. Stepping out, get into my neutral stance, up into my trophy position, play, back into my ready position. There, step out, get sideways on. Now the timing of which you need to make sure that you step out with the right foot, turn the hip and bring this foot across, is you need to get sideways on before that ball comes in so that you have the time to be able to go through the progressions which we've worked on here today, okay, when you go through. Ready position, step out with the right foot, bring the left foot across, okay. So the movement that you need to make is really important. So I'm in my ready position, I'm stepping out with the right foot, bring the left foot across, and I'm having to track that ball to go. Step out with the right foot, neutral stance, and there we are. Okay. So we've gone through the progressions there, letting that ball bounce. I'm going to collect some balls in, and this time I'm going to be taking the ball out the air, but to start with, I'm going to be starting in a neutral stance just to begin with, just to practice going into that tiptoe stance through those other progressions leading up to that balance position where we're going to be holding that position here right at the end. Let's get the ball machine warmed up. Let's see what's going to happen on the first couple of feeds. Okay, I think that's going to be okay. So it's going to come in and we're going to be sideways on, and then we're going to go through the smashing action like this, loading the back hip, going down in that trophy position, playing the smash. It's there. Sideways on. Now I'm going to load the back hip a little bit, get that weight on the front foot, hold that position, oh, that was a low one. It's going up. Tracking the ball, loading the hip, drive the hip, rotate the shoulders, bring that left arm into your chest, transferring the weight on the front foot. And I think this might be the last, maybe the last one or maybe one more. So there we have it. Some smashes where I've gone straight out the air from a neutral stance, loading the back hip, pushing off the back leg here, rotate the hip, bring the shoulders around, bring the hand in, transfer the weight on the front foot and follow through. I'm going to collect some balls in, and this time we're going to go from our ready position. We're going to step out with the first foot here, we're going to get sideways on, we're going to go into our neutral stance, we're going to load the back hip, push off the ground, rotate, bring the hand in, go through all the progressions we worked on today for the smash. So now on to the final part of the session where I'm going to be working from my open stance here in my ready position. I'm going to make my first step out to the ball, get into my neutral stance and set, ready to go, going through those progressions I've worked on here today. So let's get it started. So I'm in a ready position, ready to go. I'm going to step out with my right foot. When the ball comes, I'm going to get sideways on and then play the smash. Step out, sideways on, holding that position. When I transfer my weight forwards, pulling the left arm in, driving the hip, loading the back hip, playing the smash, abbreviated action, all those progressions we worked on today, bringing it all together. Like I say, with these progressions, you need to go through step by step. and just allowing that ball to bounce earlier on, like this, where it was bouncing, coming up, catching, was really helpful. So let's get stopping there. And stop. So there we have it, a step-by-step tutorial on the smash through progressions, working through the stages to take your smash to the next level. Stay tuned for more coaching content coming your way.